Good evening, and welcome to this episode of Woman to Woman. My name is Sandra Campbell. And the first thing I'd like to do is introduce my guest of panel members. To my right is...
Hi, I'm Naima Latif, television producer, author, and publisher.
And
I'm Jean Moore, producer, author, and television co-host.
And to my left,
Wanda Carter, and I'm a publisher and a producer and a mother.
oh my goodness, and last but not least.
I'm the peacemaker among the group. My name is Margot Richmond.
Okay, again, as I said, my name is Sandra Campbell. I want you to grab a pen and call a friend, and you're in for a wonderful show. Tonight's first topic, ladies, is brought to us by our wonderful, fine, sexy co-producer. And his question was, why do women carry those really big purses, and what's in them? And let's start with Wanda, because out of the 35 years I've known her, she's always had a big purse. Wanda, talk to us. What's in that purse?
I carry a big purse because I have a lot of stuff to take with me.
Okay, be specific.
Stuff like pens and pencils, books,
Books.
makeup.
What kind of books?
I carry all kind of books, paper, writing pads, because wherever I'm at, I'm usually studying or doing something of that nature. And I carry big purses because there's room for me to take whatever I want. Like when I go to lunch, if I can't eat it all, I bring it.
Okay, so to let you know, she's the reason why we have rules about all-you-can-eat buffets. She's gonna all right, Margot.
Well, in my purse, I carry makeup,
That
my wallet.
ladies, I'm talking about big bags now.
I carry my appointment date book. I carry my regular phone book, although I have a cell phone with the numbers in it. I just like the weight of the bag,
Okay, she likes heavy
and I like
things.
big bags.
And heavy things. Okay, all right. Jean.
Well, you know what? I end up with a big bag. I really like small bags. But when I have a big bag, I end up just getting everything. You know, the things that you need, you know, to keep your hair together.
Be specific.
I'm getting there. I even have times where I might have a change of clothes, you know, and you roll it up, you know, like in the military style, and stick it in your purse.
Yes.
Why you gotta change your clothes, Jean?
Because, you know, I'm a very busy woman.
Busy doing what to you? Can you say
You
it
know,
on
I
TV?
mean,
I mean, it's changing clothes. Okay.
like, okay, say for instance, like today, you know, we had to be here. And all day I may have been in one outfit and I want to change so I can come into another outfit. You know, when there times was when you would do things, you know, and you would stand out all night, that goes in the trunk.
Don't
That's
worry
the
about it.
overnight
Name
bag.
is your
But
turn.
I'm just
Don't give her anything.
Don't give her anything. Don't give her anything.
Don't give her anything because she
Go
won't
ahead,
take it.
Okay.
oh,
okay.
you right, because you will
Naima.
go way out the field with it.
Well, I've always been a bit of a bag lady. I mean, I have
I'm
a
glad
whole
you
bunch
said
of
it, not
stuff.
me. Okay, all right. Okay.
But now, I'm not a makeup wearer, so I don't really have, you know, the makeup
So what's in
thing.
your
but
bag?
what's in my bag was I usually, when I leave the house in the morning, I know I'm not going to get a chance to ever come back. So whatever I need for the day, I have to have it in my bag. Even if it's a change of shoes, like if I'm wearing heels, where eventually my feet are going to get tired, so I need to have my flat shoes in there. And I might not come home that night. I might stay the night somewhere else.
So that means your pajamas are in there as well.
Yeah, it might be.
Footies, yeah.
But ain't you going back to your car? Oh, by the way, these women all have cars. I mean, with trunks. But ain't you going back to your car?
Well, sometimes I might be going someplace where I didn't drive my car. So in that case, you know, and then of course, overnight things you need like toothpaste and, you know, mouthwash and all of that. Contact lenses. I wear contacts, so I have to have my contact lens case. And then I have a wallet where I got credit cards, money, and all of that. So that's in the bag. And then I sell books, of course.
Can I borrow your
So-
bag sometimes?
Oh,
You have
yeah,
the money and
absolutely.
stuff.
But, you know, I sell books, and people always run into me and say, oh, I read your book, and but, you know, I let somebody borrow it. I need to buy another one. I said, oh, I happen to have one. So, you know, I always have a supply of books in my bag. And, you know, you just never know when you might run into.
And then we have things for grandparents,
People-
and then we
yes.
have things for the grandchildren. We may have Pampers in there. We may have our bottles in there.
Well,
Just keep
thank God I
everything
haven't had to do
company.
the Pampers yet.
Oh, I don't
but,
have any
but now,
grandchildren
like
that need
Wanda,
Pampers.
though, I might go to a place where, and most of the time when I go to a restaurant, I don't eat everything that I order. So I, have to have space in the bag to put my leftovers.
You can't, Sandra, I heard you say earlier, when you go to a buffet, you can't take food home from the buffet.
My mama does all the time. I don't know what y'all talking
But
about.
I just want to know,
That's what my
outside
mama
of
does
us,
all the time.
what about you?
Well, I carry a big bag. Well, I started carrying a big bag because of her, Wanda.
Oh, okay.
Because she had me doing these shows, and then we would always have to be somewhere and we needed to do something to ourselves.
So you have a change of clothes when you.
No, I don't have no change of clothes. I don't get that serious. I drive a truck.
Oh, okay.
I got change of clothes in my truck. I got shoes in my truck, too.
So what's in the big bag then?
Really nothing. It needs to be cleaned out. I got receipts, lotion, smell good, nothing. I ain't got no books. I mean, it amazes me that all you all carry
You got a
books.
notepad, don't you have one of those electronic?
My Nook?
Yeah,
Oh,
your
no,
Nook.
I don't put my Nook in the
So
purse.
you just got junk in yours.
That's like a junk. I have nothing. Plus,
the
I
Nook
carried
is
a
not
big
heavy.
purse so I can look smaller.
Oh, okay.
You didn't know that? You got this real big purse. And see, and if I position it right, you don't see none of this, you just see this.
Oh, okay.
So from a profile side, they be like, bam!
Okay. Learn something new.
So
You
she
see, I'm nice
actually
and tall
uses
and lean.
the book.
Camouflage, girl, camouflage.
Okay.
So I look real
Makes
sexy.
you look like a brick house.
Now, that's why I carry my big purse. I don't know about white. Okay, I don't carry no books. All right, all right.
Well, I mean, being in school, every chance that you can actually get, to study or do some reading
that's
or
another
whatever,
thing, too.
you can,
Yeah.
go in and pull out your books and study.
Especially if you go someplace and you have to wait for somebody.
So
you don't
y'all
wanna
just want
have
people to
idle
think y'all
time.
real smart. Y'all want a man to think,
Yeah, that's
this
right.
this is smart, baby. He is
You got a book?
okay,
No,
okay, I
that's
got it. It's
just
a man pulling in.
No,
That's
An
why you got a big
intelligent man
purse.
puller, not a dumb
An
man puller.
intelligent
Because, a
man
man knows he
puller.
got to have a conversation if he goes up to a woman who's got a book.
And when you see them with the big purses, brother, that mean they got to change of clothes. Do y'all carry the other stuff in there too, protection
the other?
and whatnot?
You don't need a big bag for that. Not that I need it. I'm just saying, Now, when I spend a night someplace else, it's usually like my sister's house or something because she lives on one
Now
side
it's
of
gonna be your
town.
sister's house, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got to go through all that to spend the night at your sister's house, right?
Yes. Or my mother's house who lives on the other side of town. So that's all. I mean,
Now
I'm
she
not,
spend the night with her mama.
I need my
Sandra,
mother's
you
house
quick.
or my
You
sister's
spend the night with your mama too.
Because in
My
mine,
mama live with me.
I have my rollers. I have my rollers in there.
still
my
use
flat
rollers?
irons. Yes, I
Yeah,
still use rollers.
yeah, that's right. Yes, she
Yes.
does because I saw her do that one day.
I thought
Yes,
that was
she did.
against the law to have rollers that you
In
sleep
your
in. That
purse?
you sleep? Oh, you don't? You just put them in your
You
hand?
don't sleep in rollers when you going home.
I put them in my hair, and then I have a
On a
cap that I
secret
put over there.
rendezvous, you take your rollers?
But I don't do secret rendezvous.
Hey, well, that's another show.
She's saying her man know what she look like, first thing in the morning,
I don't care, but
unmade
still on
up, so
secret
she ain't gotta do all
rendezvous,
that.
you don't take
I mean,
ladies,
there
you
are
don't take rollers.
there
on
are
kind of secret
times,
rendezvous,
but
Sandra?
what secret rendezvous would I be
Let's
going on?
define what a secret rendezvous is.
Oh,
That's
we
why you got
already
all them
know what a
clothes
secret
in the
rendezvous-
bag. You all supposed to pretend like you're innocent and whatnot. They are not carrying no clothes to come to this show.
Yes,
What
we
makes
do.
you feel that I don't care? Yes, I do.
You don't come
And
to
I
this show
can-
every day. You do the show once a week.
Well,
That's
you
why
just
she
asked me
carry
what do I
clothes.
You gonna tell
carry in there. You
yourself,
didn't
Gene.
say
You
carry
gonna-
every single day.
No, you gonna
I
tell
was just
yourself,
sharing
Gene.
some of the things. What am I going to tell?
You're going to tell that you carry clothes every day. And you're going to tell why in a
No,
minute.
I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
See,
I
Sarah
can't
just
carry
told her that
clothes
she
if I
carried hers
could.
in the trunk of her car, so she
my
already.
trunk.
And she
I
has
hang 'em up.
hers all the time.
I don't like
Oh,
wrinkles.
oh, okay. She got them hung up in the
So
trunk.
that's
She
where
got a
the
big
rendezvous
truck,
comes
so
in.
you can find many things.
So
inside.
that
I
means
have a
she has
miniature blow. I have a
suitcases.
miniature blow dryer. So if you know, in my purse.
What
Just
you
in
want?
When I come here,
And why?
because I like blowing things.
Now you know
Oh.
who started
There's a lot to the imagination.
situation we're about to go into now.
Nah, I thought you so innocent down there in the end.
I didn't say a word. I
Oh,
said,
okay, yeah, all right.
blow
Yeah.
shit.
Some y'all be
I said blow
starting stuff and
things.
Wanda got her grandkids.
Oh, okay, all right. We're sorry. This is prime time. All right.
We're
So,
going to wind up, and it's going to become triple X.
No.
no.
Oh,
We don't,
okay.
we don't do shows
This is
like
what
that.
happened when
I
women have
just
been
wanted
too
to
long
know.
without men in their lives.
Speak
They
for
can't give men
yourself.
anything.
I done told y'all about include me in the masses. I am singular. I don't speak for that. That's her. But anyway, not you.
Oh, okay.
Never this one. Never this one. But anyway, we're gonna go on to our next subject. Our next topic, ladies, is stepmamas. Now, I'm not a stepmother.
How many have been a stepmother?
Who's been a stepmother?
I have.
You too? Okay. All right. Now tell me, when you marry a man, do you automatically assume that you now take on the role as mother to his children?
It depends on how old the children are. When I married my husband, his children were already grown. So there was no way I could mother them. They were like, going into their 20s. So, our relationship had to be a little different. I mean, it was mutual respect, but I also realized somebody else already raised them, so that was not my job anymore.
Okay.
But I did have to have a respectful relationship with
Correct.
them because,
Correct.
that was still their elder.
You were their elder?
Yeah, of course, yeah, because I married their father. But,
Okay.
they weren't that much younger than me, though. So that was kind of different because they.
So you
I
four
was-
or 5 years don't make you no elder girl. I mean, but okay, all right. That's another show too.
That's another show.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. G.
Well, yes. Well, actually, when I came in with my first marriage.
First.
my
How
first
many
marriage,
times you been married?
Twice.
Okay.
Second. This is my second. First time I was married, the children were younger. And my thing was allowing myself to develop a relationship with them. Whether they wanted to see me as mom or not, my responsibility because of my love to him was still to do what was needed to be done as far as those children was concerned. Because if I love him, I have to love what was a part of him. And when they became comfortable and they decided to say, this is my mom, I just never decided or felt like I would use the term stepmother. To me, I look at it as allowing people to know this is not mine.
Did the children reside with you and your husband? I mean, initially
Well,
or
they
no?
came and they were there on the weekends.
Okay, visitation. Okay.
So how did their mother? Did you have a good relationship
Well,
with their mother?
I also tried to make sure that we had a good relationship. And in the
Okay.
beginning, we actually had a very good relationship until she realized that my marriage was a very good marriage. I mean, our relationship was really good and the children took to me. Then for some odd reason, it became a hassle with her. But I still looked at it as in regards to the children,
Was it a ha-
especially me being a mother.
Or was it a hassle because the children were calling you mother, or because of the jealousy that the relationship was a good relationship?
I believe there became a jealousy of the relationship.
Oh, okay.
I didn't think, I believe, because it never really, even with the conversations, it never was really geared towards the children. It was geared towards our marriage. And I believe that she felt that she expected the marriage to fold.
Oh,
Well, I
okay.
think that's what happens when people get divorced, and they always feel like, well, there's something wrong with that other person, reason why they left me. And then if that other person remarries and it's a good marriage, then it's like, okay, maybe it is me because he was able to find somebody else and it's working. So it's kind of like feeling that you're confirmation that perhaps a good deal of the fault was hers. It might not have been, but that might have been how she took it, the reason why it kind of upset her. Usually that's what happens when people remarry. The one who remarries, if their marriage is good.
Well, I
and the
think
one
she,
who
I think she
didn't,
put too
yeah.
much into that. Once you divorce that man, once you have said, okay, the court says it's official, whomever, whatever he does, she ain't got nothing to do with that.
That's how it should
And
be.
she should have let that go.
But a lot of women tend to hang on to, they use the children as a bait
Yeah.
to hold on to the relationship with the male.
Right, even if it's
Now,
over.
Even if the relationship is over, because my deceased husband had 2 children, and when we got married, the only time I ever met the children was at his mother's funeral and at our wedding.
And you were together. I think
we
you
had
should let
been
the people
together
know,
8
you were-
years.
You were together a long time before you got married.
And that was because the mother had said to him that if you ever take my children to that woman's house, you won't be able to see them anymore. And
Oh,
he
wow.
just really, he wanted to play that role so hard, so bad, that he was afraid of risking that.
But do you think that men really don't know their legal rights? Because a lot of women will do that. They'll say, well, if you ever
He
give another woman, I'm
allowed her
not
to
going to let
do
you.
that. He allowed her to do
Right,
that.
'cause
He
the law
could
would
have
not
gone
allow
to court
that,
and
right.
but he chose not to. Just as
yeah.
when he paid child support, he didn't go and get a money order. He just gave her the money. And I
So
used
he
to
had no
often
records.
tell him, you have no records. She could take you to court tomorrow and say you never gave her a dime, and you couldn't prove that you did because everything was given in cash.
That's the thing. Even I'm a staunch supporter of sisterhood. that's what makes the relationship so bad between women. The steps. I'm nobody's stepmother. I've been the first wife, and of a person that was in a long-term relationship. I've been the second person of a person who was in a long-term relationship, and each time, when these women were acting and talking crazy, I didn't give him any ammunition for.
I didn't give
the
him
woman.
any ammunition.
I didn't do that because, it's kind of crazy that we as women, you shouldn't have had to feel once you and she became friends, she should have never got mad because she thought your marriage was going good. And then here with the other woman, she just didn't want him to bring the kids around because he had selected another mate instead of her. I mean, what did she think he was going to do?
And that's
It is.
unfortunate
It really
because even when he passed, the daughter called. She's a grown woman, and she cried and she said, "I'm so sorry I treated you that way. But can I participate in my father's funeral?" Well, what could I say? Of course you can participate in your
You could
father's
have been
funeral.
mean and
But you
said
know
no.
what?
But I mean,
we
she
could have
shouldn't
been
even-
friends
She
long
right.
time
She
ago.
should,
We
but
should
she
have been
shouldn't. But
friends
she
long
shouldn't
time
have
ago.
even had to feel that she needed to ask you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's another thing. We as women, even with that mom putting that young woman now who is also a mother.
Yes.
She has a son. She has
Yes.
a beautiful son. She has a husband.
Yes.
And that husband has a mother. She has set her to be suspicious of her
Right,
mother-in-law and any other women that
Right.
come into her life. We are our own worst enemies a lot of times.
And a
That's
lot of
what
times that
happens.
was what it is, and it really hurts me because a lot of times mothers always claim in regards to, not saying that they don't, but you're always saying, "I love my child," but you fail to realize the hurt that you can be causing your child, whether it's because it got to a point where she didn't even want the children to come around us anymore.
Right, that's usually
She
the
found
next
she
thing.
found excuses and reasons why the children couldn't
that was
come,
her
but it was because of,
Right.
of her.
But how do you
And
have
she didn't-
insecurity when first of all, women need to understand when the relationship is over,
The relationship
it's
is
over.
But it wasn't
Self-esteem
over.
issue.
It wasn't
It's
over.
not over
But it becomes
emotionally a lot of times
As long
for
as
the
you have
woman.
children,
becomes
the
a
relationship
control.
is never
Right.
over.
It's never
Oh,
over.
yeah.
It becomes a
No,
control.
you
You have
have
to
to-
decide what you're going to do when if you're a woman and your husband has chosen to move on with his life and marry someone else. You have to have the integrity to allow him to do that and
What
not
you mean
threaten
chosen?
him.
Once you're divorced, he has moved on.
But
what
women-
part
but
of
I'm
divorce
saying-
does people not understand?
A whole
It's
Women
lot of
over.
hard
use
they don't
children
understand.
to keep
Over.
the man from moving on. They will threaten him.
Yeah.
Well, if you
They
get
did.
another woman, I'm not gonna let I'm not gonna let you see your
Yeah, they
children.
still do that now. They don't even have to be married
that.
when they break up.
And then the other part of it is children we have to be very, very mindful. Children are not toys.
Correct.
They're not.
Children
They're
have
not
children
toys.
have
And they have a right.
They have emotions,
They have a
and I
right.
think that it is the mother's responsibility to protect her child at all costs until she's comfortable. Now, you say move on. The average mother or a conscious woman would have moved on.
Correct.
But
lot
I
of them
want to
are not
know
conscious.
what kind of environment am I sending my child to?
Mm-hmm.
What does the house look like? Where they're going to sleep?
But having a
then that
relationship
goes-
with your
First of
dad
all-
doesn't
first of
mean
all-
you got to stay at his woman's
But guess what?
house,
9 times out of 10
or
the hus-
maybe the new wife. Now, again, you're right. You need to see that house. But that's, again, we're talking about mature individuals, all three
Right,
parties.
right.
I'm going to say three parties.
But you want to
All
protect
three
your
have
child.
to
You want to
be-
protect
But you
your
can
children.
protect your
what's-
child, but the child has a right, and it takes two parents to raise a child. I mean,
Yeah.
so they can see what it's like to develop from both perspectives.
No, I'm not letting my
The
child
fe-
just no. I'm not letting my
They
child
should
just
be
wait
with
a
their
minute.
father.
No, I think that my child can go anywhere
If
with
you
his
agree with
father.
That's all I'm
woman.
talking about.
If I agree with the relationship where
the
my
woman.
child is going, if the environment is safe and I'm comfortable with it, then that's fine. But I'm not just getting ready to let him if I can help it. You know, because they'll take him anywhere and do whatever they
But
want
I'm
to do.
not suggesting that.
Yeah, because
I'm
there's a lot of
suggesting
children that are
the
wounded.
child should have the 50-50 relationship with parent, with
Right.
mother
I
and
agree with
father.
that. I
And
agree.
so
I
the
agree with
father
that.
should be
I
allowed
agree with
time
that.
to spend some time with his children. If he takes them to dinner, to the show,
That's
wherever,
fine.
Right,
go to
and
the lake.
that's what I'm saying.
most
Just
women-
because he's married doesn't mean the kid has to stay all night
Right,
at his
right,
house.
right.
And
That
a
is
lot-
I
not
think
a
that's right.
prerequisite
That's
right.
for maintaining your fatherly visits or being able to see, have an interaction with your dad.
Okay, let's not
Okay,
even
but
talk
then
about
even if
marriage.
that
Let's
be
talk
the-
about let's talk about a single situation. You still are floating children around in these environments where The relationship may be it will be a solid relationship, and it may not. 6 months down the road, that brother may decide that that woman is not the right woman for him, or she don't want to be bothered. Now you rotating these children in and out of these different relationships.
So should a man not bring his children around a woman that he has not made a commitment to?
Correct,
And
and vice versa
answer.
with the woman
So a
too.
woman should
I
be
don't
ready to
think
say, you
I
have
don't think a
women.
woman should show her daughters about all the men that travel through her life before she gets to a good man. Because
Well, men, vice
this
versa
should
with
not
men.
be a boom automatically just because I ran into Harry today. This is my man forever. No, you don't know nothing about Harry. You got to check this dude out for about a year. So therefore, and in the process, just because you're checking Harry out don't mean you can't talk to Joe. Your kids may not understand that.
And they
So
won't,
therefore, your
probably.
kids should not be involved in that. And number
Everything.
two,
Children
same
should
with the
be
man. Just because he meets Betty Jean don't mean Betty Jean is the right one. And while he's talking to Paula on the side too, your kids don't have to know that. You grown people's business need to stay with who? Grown
Grown
people.
So how long should you see somebody before you decide you're ready to introduce your children
Year
to them?
2, maybe 3, 4, 5. It depends.
You know,
Cause some of them still ain't ready. You be like, you ain't
You know,
fathering material.
If you have a good relationship
that's
with me,
what-
I
sometimes
stayed
that's what
single. I
what
stayed
women
single
do.
a long time. After I got a divorce, I've been single since my divorce in '87. But my son, I tried to protect my son to the best of my ability, so I didn't want rotation.
Yeah, him seeing this man this week and
So
this
he
man
knew
the
who
next week.
he knew who his father was, and I had men ask, well, why would you do something with your son? No, you're not doing nothing with my son. He has a father, because I'm not sure, and I wish I had did a little bit more protection with him, because let me tell you something. When them boys get up and they become young men, and you say, come on, let's do a truth. They tell you as a woman how they really felt
Not
about
only the boys.
about their whole relationship. Well, I only had a son, but I asked my son. I said, "Listen, you're the reflection of men. If you see me, if you can't tell me, I may not be able to see myself the way you see me. So if you see me doing something that you don't like or you don't understand, don't wait until I come home and I'm busted and I'm tired. But say, Ma, I need to talk to you, and I want you to tell me because you're a reflection of who I am and what am I doing. If I'm hurting you with my behavior, talk to me about it so that I can change it. I worked 25 years with pregnant women and newborn babies, and we have a lot of children because parents are making decisions, and they're not making the right decisions based on the children.
And the
Correct.
children have opinions about your life because they're
Well,
involved.
to a degree. Not to a degree.
Do you take your child to see a person that you're serious about to get their opinion in order to decide if you really want
I don't think,
to
I'm not saying that. I
continue
didn't
the
even say
relationship?
that.
But
No,
what
they ain't
about
got
if
no
your
opinion
child
about
doesn't
that.
like the person that you're seeing? Do you cut off the relationship? Do you say, well, my child don't like you? Or
that-
do you
a
say-
lot of
no,
times you can
no.
start off with a relationship and the child not like the person just because the relationship is new.
Right.
It
And
doesn't
it's
mean
not his.
necessarily
And
because
it's not his
It's not his
fault. It's not his,
So
hers or her mother.
that would not be a logical thing. But if it is to that point where we have a relationship, and I take it even with my husband when he came into my children's life, we dated for a while before I allowed him to come into my children's life. And when I felt that sense of security, then we had a sit-down meeting. And when we had that sit-down meeting, then I introduced him to them. We talked about it, and they gave their opinion. I did want to know what my children, because they were used to me.
were they
and I
favorable or
wanted to
not?
know what my children were favorable. And the one thing about it is with my children, as they were small, we always had conversations. We talked. I want to know what's on your mind. I'm going to share what's on my mind. So we had a very good relationship. And so when it came down, they knew their boundaries. They knew what to say and what not to say. And so we communicated that. And when
I
it
was
came
terrible
down
with
to
my
what?
father, with my father's girlfriend. She was
Why?
She was 2 years. She was 2 years. No, she was 2 years younger than me.
Oh, okay.
And so I gave her a fit. When I found out her age,
But
I
she
was
was
spoiled,
grown, by the way, too.
and I was a grown woman, and I
Yeah.
didn't
Doing
like
this.
My
So
daughter
that's
did the same
different.
thing to her father's girlfriend because she's younger than my daughter. And she just does not like the woman.
But
And
you know,
I
that's
don't
not
think
her
the lady, no, the
choice,
lady,
though.
the
Right.
lady,
know
no,
it's
no, no,
not
no,
her
no.
choice.
The lady was rude. I would call and ask to
She
speak
was
to my.
intimidated, and
I
rightfully
would call,
so.
No, I would call and ask to speak to my father, and I would say, "This is Margot, my dad at home."
she hang up.
But
Because she kept saying, she said for a
That's
long
not good to do
time.
because they
Wait a
they
minute,
do
she
you.
said for a
They'll
long
come
time.
beat you up.
Who?
who?
The one who you said.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. So, thank you, ma'am. So anyway, what happened was she kept hanging the phone up because she thought I was his woman or another female instead of, you know.
His daughter.
And
She
did
didn't
that
know
for
that
a
she had
long
an
time.
adult daughter?
He never told her.
No, he said it wasn't none of her business.
Oh, okay.
Can we go? I just still just have this like one question in regards to like when we started off, we were talking about stepmothers.
Yes.
I just really want to know what, I mean, I know what stepmother means in regards to blended families and all of that, but is that like an outing for individuals so that they
What do you
can,
mean, an outing?
I'm going to explain that. An out so that I can say that this is really not my child. So if this child does whatever, or if it's something that I'm displeased with in regards to this child, I say this is my stepdaughter because I don't want anyone to be identified that it belongs to me.
I think it serves two purposes. I think one, a person who may use this and say this is my stepson or daughter might be giving respect to that biological mother.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Number two, yes, if you got a little badass B, I probably did say this ain't none of mine. No, I wouldn't own it. I would say this ain't none of mine. This is my step whatever. When his daddy get home, I'm gonna tell what he did. But no, you know, I think people put too much emphasis on titles in my opinion.
Okay, I
Because
agree.
if I'm coming to see about my husband's daughter or son, I'm gonna introduce myself as Mrs. Robinson. I like Robinson. I've never been, my last name not Robinson, but I'm going to introduce myself as Mrs. Robinson. And I am here to see about Sheree Robinson, and I'm operating her father's stead. That's how I'm going to introduce. I'm not going to say I'm no stepmama.
If little JoJo act up, what you gonna do?
And I'm going to say, you know what? I can't put my hands on you right here, but you're going to get over here and act like you got some sense. And then when your daddy get home, knowing I probably will beat her butt when I get her in the car, but get on over here. I'm here acting in your father's stead. I would not say I'm her stepmother.
Yeah,
I
I
wouldn't
find
do
that
that.
to be
I wouldn't do
very.
that.
What about
You know
half?
what?
I would probably try to
This is what I
find her
always-
mama and say, you know, you need to go to the school and get that kid of yours. But anyway,
This is what I say because I have a daughter with my husband, and he had 3 children prior to our marriage.
But they were
from his
grown.
first wife. Well, one was grown. The youngest one was just a teenager, but the other ones they were 19, 20 years old, 21. So they were approaching adulthood. But I never called them my stepchildren. I would say my daughter's name is Zakiya. I would say, well, this is Zakiya's older sister. This is Zakiya's older brother.
okay, that's
Okay, that's good.
appropriate.
And so I never said half,
appropriate.
this is their brothers and sisters. And then somebody might look at me and say, wait a minute, how old were you when
But
you
a
had them?
stepmother,
And then I might explain,
stepmother
okay,
should
that's from
never,
his-
a
that's from
stepmother
his
should
first
never
wife.
put her hands on somebody else's child.
No, I didn't
Yeah,
beat my
true.
own child, so I would not.
You should have, but anyway, everybody should get the kids. But anyway, all right, ladies. Would you believe that we've come to the end of our show?
Wow.
Very
Wow.
good show.
I want to thank you, ladies. I want to thank you for tuning in to this is ECTV, Channel 6. And I'm Sandra Campbell, and this has been Woman to Woman. See you soon. Now, you didn't beat your kid?
No. She's an angel because I never beat her.
You're
No, I
always
didn't.
supposed to beat your kids.
No,
She said you supposed to always
never
beat
will.
your
That's in
Never.
rule. That's in rule number one.
said a teenager. How you gonna beat a teenager?
That's me.
Well, not the stepson, but when I gave birth to her.
You can't. They can call me.
Why? How did y'all like that?
That was good.
That was damn good.
Oh, okay, we get better.
Wow, the business says good.
No. You know why?